Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So my recent vlogs were mostly about my result, my distinction, and people were not happy about it. कुछ लोग कह रहे थे कि I'm being too show off, and the other people were saying that they don't feel good about themselves when they watch my videos. So I thought I'd share some failure-ish experiences of myself. I applied to universities in US last year and I got rejected from all of them, every single one of them, and this story is about that.
Is with regret that
So I'll tell you everything that went wrong in my application or what I think went wrong. So the first thing I probably would have done wrong is my profile. Academically I was good. उस वक्त obviously A-levels के result नहीं आया हुआ था, but I had my O-level grades and I had like 10 stars and 1 A in my O-levels, which is pretty good. But I lacked in my extracurriculars, my activities, my volunteer work and everything else. एक तो I didn't have opportunities to begin with, but I was lazy on my part. Even जो opportunities थी भी, I would not avail them. And to be fair to myself or to cut myself some slack, I had 5 subjects, so I did not have much time, and जो time होता भी था तो I would spend it in laziness and procrastination. And taking 5 subjects in A-levels is not a piece of cake. I'd recommend that instead of taking more subjects, you should take on more activities because it's a holistic approach. All these universities will want to see you apart from your grades, which I don't think I showed. So my next point is probably going to be about our very own Shafkat Mahmood Saab. Very respectfully, I would like to say that the politicians of our country don't take A-level and O-level students seriously at all. Back when a second wave चल रहा था and 2021 के मई जून में हमारे papers होने थे and वो pandemic बारा आ गया था and he was like नहीं, I will take the papers. And then parents and everyone were like no, we don't want the papers and too risky and ये वो, which is on his part makes sense कि he wants us to take the paper. लेकिन अब paper cancel करवा दिया उसने. तो simple do what everyone else in the world is doing. Just move to school assessed grades. He just fucked us over and shifted our whole exam session to October, November. For example, अगर मैं देना भी चाहूँ मई जून में, I can't give it. In August I had to give my SATs. October, November मेरे CIs चल रहे थे and December में मेरे deadlines आ गए थे. So I was being very hasty with my college application and जो बस first draft था मैंने वो ही दे दिया. I did not have much time with my college application. So I guess that was also one of those reasons, and I look very bad without glasses, so I'm gonna put my black glasses back on. And I do also want to mention the fact that many people think that student assessed grades is just मुफ्त के grades, but they are based on our mocks and stuff. हाँ, उधर बीच में there will be some people who will just get their grades मुफ्त में, लेकिन that's what happens in FSC के halls as well. Please don't bring me this bullshit because we all know कि FSC के halls में क्या क्या होता है. Like FSC के जब results आए थे, people had 1115 out of 1100 in FSC. How did that even makes sense? And then you questioning. Don't get me started. Okay, so I'm making coffee right now, and my third point is that I did not do a lot of research before getting into the common app application. It is where you apply from. I did not search for the do's and don'ts. It's supposed to be very precise. There are some rules that you need to follow that they don't tell you, but you need to know. I did not know how to write my activities in what order, my essay, my supplemental essays. I was just winging it. मैंने बस ऐसे ही बस किया. So I did not present a good case, and what you should do is your 90% of your time should be spent researching it. Write as many drafts as you can and reject as many drafts as you can, and make sure to research as much as you can. If you have a month, तो आप लोग at least 20 days spend करें in researching, because filling out the application is not the hard part. The hard part is getting the right information and conveying it in the right way and not making mistakes that just ruin your case for no reason, which in my case it did for me. My next point is also a research point, but that point is researching in terms of where to apply. I was really bad in that. The universities I chose were obviously very top tier universities. I only chose the Ivies and the middle tier universities because मुझे लगा कि बस Ivy है तो Ivy है, वरना studying in America is not worth if it's not in Ivies. That was me 2 years ago. I was very naive because I thought कि मेरे school में सबसे अच्छे grades हैं तो I'll get get into IVs. It's not that case. I was living in a very small bubble and I did not research properly. IVs are always shot in the dark, even if you're the best candidate, and you should only apply to 3 or 4 IVs max, at least 4 safeties and at least 8 middle tier universities including NYU, Swarthmore, etc. And that's where you should plan it very strategically. Do check out their websites. I did check out their websites, but I was going through it in a rush. Also check out YouTube videos. बहुत YouTube videos आपको मिल जाएंगी of essays and requirements, what people did to get in the specific university they wanted to get into. Research a lot is my main suggestion to you guys.
My next point could also be a small point or a huge point, I'm not sure, but it is my CSS application for my financial aid. I filled it all by myself. I should have filled it with my parents. I should have sat down with them, because although I was being very careful, but I am pretty sure I did a lot of mistakes, because when I was discussing with my new counselor that I was meeting आजकल, and when they were asking me कि अच्छा तुमने यहाँ पे क्या लिखा है, so I was like हाँ मैंने यहाँ पे यही लिखा है, लेकिन I wasn't sure if I did. So I think I did mess up my financial aid profile. दूसरी बात, some people also do this कि they undershow their finances or they overshow their expenses, thinking कि उन लोगों को financial aid मिल जाएगी. Many universities are aware of that and they do not appreciate that. And दूसरी बात, many universities are need aware. Do not fall into the trap of doing this. I don't think I did that, but I don't think you should fall in the trap of doing that.
Hello.
Say hi to the vlog. So you need to be very smart about that, and if you really want financial aid, you should go for need blind universities. Ab need blind, need aware kya hai? I think that's another topic for another day. I am so sorry, I was about to crash my car.
Alright, so my next point is, I think it's point number 6. It's about my counselor. Do get a good counselor, guys. My counselor just fucked everything for me. She was just very unprofessional from the start, very non-serious from the start. For example, in AS, when I applied for the club presidents, AS May you get to be the vice president, right? So when I applied for it, I was the first one to apply with my friend Manur, and like our credentials were in our batch, it was like it stood out basically. जब लोग पहले करते हैं तो in fact you're supposed to be prioritized, but she forgot about her application, and फिर बाद में जो उन्होंने last day पे apply किया था, those people were just random people. I'm not gonna lie, the fact that many people who did not get good grades, didn't even present a good resume, they didn't even present a resume, in fact they didn't even apply properly, they were awarded vice presidency spots, but not me and Manur. And when we asked her about it, she said there are a lot of applications, and then I told her I was the first one to apply. What did you use to give these spots? Like, there's some criteria that you must have used. No, she was just clueless. She was just saying कि बस ये तो वो तो. And she made me treasurer, which is like not my thing, and I was just like, what the hell, like this is my spot. जिन्होंने मेरी spot की उनको treasurer बनाया, मुझे treasurer ना बनाया. This is the start of AS. From the very first day, she's pulling shit like that. Then she used to not guide us properly. In fact, she would misguide us. जब हमारा A2 आया and then we would apply, I already mentioned कि हमारे पास time कम था because of all the things that were happening. We weren't sure if we were going to apply to ED. So when my friend Manu asked her about the deadline for early decision 1, she said it's 15th November for a certain college Manu was applying to. So Manu was done with all her application by 1st November, but ma'am did not submit her council recommendation that she had to submit on Manu's behalf, and she was late on that. She did submit it on 4th November, but then she said that the deadline was 31st October, and that's Manu's fault that she did not meet the deadline. In fact, she was the one to tell her that the deadline was 15th November, and she was the one who did not even complete her council recommendation on time. Secondly, Princeton required me to send them a written graded paper, and when I asked her about it, because हमारे कोई paper as such नहीं हुए थे, and I didn't know what a written graded paper was, I was confused. She was just being extra rude about it. She kept telling me कि अपने GP के टीचर के पास जाओ, and I was like, you don't even know my subjects, I don't take GP. She was just being weird about it, and then she tells me to go to your old school, and I'm like, it's your job to tell me, and it's my new school's job to guide me properly. Why are you putting it on my old school? Like, what the hell? Then she sent me a voice message and she goes like, you're being so cynical. I'm just like, what is wrong with you? I'm asking you a question, and she was also misguiding me. She told me that MCQ paper is allowed. Then I asked my friend to ask their career counselor, and then they told me that MCQ MCQ is not allowed. And then in fact I searched it up in Princeton. MCQ is not allowed. It was an essay written guided paper. And then I quickly had to, within that 6 hours the deadline ke liye, and I just sent an essay question of economics to my teacher, and then he checked it, and then I submitted that. But that was how unprofessional she was. And the fact, when we were asked to submit transcripts, she had to submit our transcripts. She did not tell me that the transcripts of my O-levels should be from my previous school, because I gave my O-levels from my previous school. In fact, she made a गलत से transcript खुद से मेरा O-levels का भी बनाया था from roots, even though I did not do my O-levels from roots. And then my career counselor told me that your transcript should be from the same school where you give your O-levels from. That's like basic things like a career counselor is supposed to know that. फिर उसके बाद career counselor recommendation, she was not showing it to me. When I sneakily took a picture, I checked that she wrote everything wrong. She wrote that I was the president of WWF club, I was the president of debating club. She doesn't even know that properly. I gave her my application, she can't even read it off my application properly and write it. She was just all over the place. She just ruined everything, because the universities take the word of the counselor, because counselor submits your grades, your transcripts, your counselor recommendations. She was just pure shit at that. And please guys, please get a good counselor who knows their stuff.
The next point, and my last point, is probably a small one, but I think it's my own observation, but I think that also played some part, I guess. My teachers' recommendation letters, they were mostly about me and like me tarifein, and I don't think that that's what the universities want. I think the universities are looking for how you are in your class, how intellectual you are, how you manage pressure and challenges, how you participate in your classes, the leadership. Honestly, many teachers don't know that, and it's your responsibility to let your teachers know. मुझे जो मेरे teachers ने recommendation letter दे दिया था, I made them submit the same thing. I didn't guide them in any way, although I should have done that. So do keep in mind about that. So I think these are the points जो मुझे अब तक फिलहाल याद आ रहे हैं. And at the end, I would also like to say कि whenever you apply into this, it's always a very 50-50% chance, even if you're the best student, because at least 70,000 people are applying each year. So it's a very tough spot to get into. It's a very luck-based thing, so it doesn't work every time. Is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I'm gonna end my video over here, and we're going for the walk, so we're getting late. Anyway, bye.
Missing someone.